Hello, everyone, and welcome to our doTERRA's Product of the Month series with Cassandra and Cindy. And we are so delighted to be here with you again for the Product of the Month for November. And do you all know what that is? Probably, if you signed up for this, you would know. And if you're looking at the picture, you would know it is Clove Essential Oil. And now, if you joined us last month, you know that Cindy and I talked about lemon, and lemon kind of being that kind of common oil, but the one that we fell in love with because it has so many usages. Well, I'm going to say personally, like clove, I don't use that much, but in preparation for this class, I recognized like, oh my goodness, clove has just as many uses as lemon, and even more exciting because it's not that essential oil that people usually talk about. But anyway, before we get started and tell you about us, I just want you to know that actually this class has been created in collaboration with Heather Charrington, founder of Oils of Bounty, and all statements in this virtual class have not been approved by the FDA. doTERRA products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Pregnant or lactating women and persons with known medical conditions should consult a physician prior to the use of any essential oil product. And I'm also going to say anytime you're doing any lifestyle change, any type of movement, any type of diet change, you should consult your physician. Also, this Facebook class is copyrighted by Essential Oils Academy, and so this cannot be reproduced without the permission of Essential Oils Academy, and you can find them at essential-oils-academy.com. So, Cindy and I will share a little bit about ourselves. We did this in our last class, and it's just how we got into doTERRA and essential oils, and we'll just do that briefly. But I probably started using essential oils probably in 2000 or something, and I've used different brands of essential oils, and I used them personally. Then when I started doing psychotherapy, I would use essential oils with my clients. We would do meditation, or if they came in anxious, just to ground them and stuff. And I, like I said, would use different brands. It was probably like I think it was 4 years ago. Actually, I just now renewed in October. It was actually 4 years ago. I found out about doTERRA 4 years ago prior to October. And I was like, oh my goodness, I opened a bottle of doTERRA essential oils and inhaled it and was like, wow, these oils are different from other oils that I have inhaled. And so I started doing some more research on that and fell in love with doTERRA and joined doTERRA and have been using them since, personally with clients, and got into the business initially, then stopped and back into the business now. And just love what they do for me physically, what they do for me emotionally, energetically, what they have done for my clients. And so that is why I'm here, as a holistic nurse, to share my love of doTERRA essential oils.
All right. Well, I will take it away. I'm Cindy, for those of you who don't know me. And oddly enough, Cassandra and I met through a program that we did to try to grow ourselves in our essential oil usage, and to just grow ourselves both personally and professionally. So we hadn't even met in person until just this past September, when we actually attended doTERRA's convention in Utah, and we actually met in person for the first time. So it was a really fun thing to actually have this relationship with somebody for months without actually physically meeting them. We talked on the phone a lot. We did a lot of Zoom chats, but we never physically actually were in the same place with one another until September. So that's kind of a fun little story about how we met. But like Cassandra, I started using essential oils, probably 8 to 10 years ago, and I also used many different brands before I found doTERRA. What led me to essential oils was a series of health concerns that I had, where I was having adverse reactions to some of the meds that I was being given, and so I had to go completely holistic. And through my work with a lot of my holistic practitioners, I'm talking like homeopaths and chiropractors and acupuncturists and, not your run-of-the-mill physicians. So I was led to essential oils as part of my treatment ideas in terms of helping with some respiratory issues I was having. And like I said, at the time it was not doTERRA, and if I had to go back in time, I would hope that somebody would have introduced me to doTERRA at that point, and it would have been doTERRA I was using, but that was not available to me at that time. So I was using essential oils, and then several years ago, 3 years ago, I think it'll be 4 years for me in January. So about 3.5 ago, I went to a class hosted by my friend Gina at our yoga studio. And I thought, I'm here, I know about essential oils, but I'll go and learn a little bit more. And I tried some there, but I bought my first kit was the Family Essentials. And I thought, yeah, whatever. I've had essential oils before. I've tried them, but I fell in love. Actually, when my doTERRA kit came in, I threw away all my other oils, and then the rest is history. I love them. I share them with people. People were coming to me asking for solutions and ideas and tips. And so here I am as a doTERRA wellness advocate, spreading the love and joy of essential oils and how they can help people with their emotions and health and everything in between.
Yes. Oh, so let's see. Okay, there we go. So clove. So a lot of you might not actually think of like clove as an essential oil. Many times you think of it as a spice, because I know I have for many years, because I've used it. I've used it, especially this time of year. So what I love about doTERRA is when they choose a product of the month, it goes along with the season of that month, so we're in autumn in the Northern Hemisphere. So you might say, well, what about the Southern Hemisphere? Well, I'm going to tell you, in Australia, they have a different product of the month. What it is, I don't know, but it is a different one than clove. But we think about clove, we think about, during this autumn season, it's a little more chilly or a lot more chilly. Well, clove, if we think about clove, it actually is warming. So if we think about it as a spice, it is a very warming essential oil. But the other thing we're going to be sharing about is our love for clove, because after all, if you take out the C on clove, what do you have? You have love. In fact, a fun fact about clove is it comes from the Latin word clavus, which means nail. And most likely that earned its name because look at these on the screen. They look like little nails, little claws, like some type of tack or something like that. And so I think that is really cool. Also, clove for many years has been used in dental preparation, so toothpaste and mouthwash and different things like that, because of its wonderful flavor, but also its ability to cleanse the mouth. And we're going to be talking more about that. Also, clove's main chemical component. So for all of you science people, or all you people who are like, well, I do like essential oils, but I'm more into like the chemistry or the aromatherapy or all that. Well, I'm going to share a little bit. The chemical component is eugenol, that's EUGENOL, and it makes it a very stimulating and energizing essential oil. So we're going to talk more about this. Like if you need energetically to be more uplifted, if you need some energy, then you would want this type of oil. Or if you wanted a warming, because if we think about when we're energized, when we're stimulated, what does that do? That warms up our body system. Clove also contains powerful antioxidant properties and supports the cardiovascular health when taken internally. Now, you might think, oh, take an essential oil internally? Never. And I know when you read a lot out there, there's a lot that says, oh, you should never, ever take an essential oil internally. In fact, many aromatherapists will say that. And so what we always say is always consult with your physician. Remember I said if you're ever going to take anything internally. But the other thing that's different is doTERRA's essential oils, they are certified therapeutic grade oils. So what that means is they've done a lot of testing, and these are very pure essential oils that are different from other essential oils, like how Cindy and I talked about. We use different essential oils along our wellness journey, and they probably shouldn't have been taken internally, which we didn't, because they might have been adulterated or mixed with like chemicals and different things like that. Whereas with doTERRA's essential oil, you can actually look up the number, you can go to this website called what is that called? SourceU. And you can actually put in the number and you can see where the essential oil, what country that plant was made, and all that stuff and everything they did. And that there are no chemicals or solvents or any of that in there. Also, it can be used as a cooking spice, and we're going to be telling you some yummy, yummy, tasty recipes to put a little spice. In fact, I tried this today. Now, I have added clove to my apple cider, but I didn't have any apple cider, so I added a little bit, 1 drop to my water because I'm feeling a little chilly, and so I did that. And also, clove can be added to clean your teeth and gums, and like I said, we're going to be going over more of that. The other thing is clove. Clove is actually steam distilled from the bud of a plant, giving it a very spicy, warm, woody aroma with a hint of leather. And I have some diffusing, and I'll tell you about that when we talk about diffusers. I have a diffuser, autumn diffuser recipe going on diffusing. Clove can also be used aromatically, like I said, in my diffuser. It can be applied topically, but like I said, this is stimulating and this is warming. So this is kind of one of those hot oils. In fact, when I first drank my water and I wasn't on camera, my lips kind of burned because I hadn't really stirred it around. I was like, oh, this is hot. And so if you're adding it to any type of blend, which we'll be talking about, some like lovely body scrubs and different things like that, you want to mix it with a carrier oil like a fractionated coconut oil or jojoba oil or something like that. You do want to mix it before you put it on your skin. Also, if you are blending it, if you're blending it in a roller bottle, here I have a roller bottle, or if you're blending, putting it in a diffuser, it blends very well with wild orange, frankincense, Roman chamomile, ginger, so again, another warming oil, cassia, cinnamon bark, also warming. And think about those are those autumn ones, cedarwood. So you can do a lot of great things with it. Also, there is with this oil possible skin sensitivity. You don't want to use it really on children or pregnant nursing women. They would want to, like we said, consult with the doctor. And please, please don't put it near your eye because like I said, my lips burned. Well, you really don't want to put it near your eye or your inner ear or any open sensitive areas. No, because it will burn. It will very much burn. So you don't you don't want to do that. So I know Cindy's going to tell us a little more about like clove for the skin.
I sure will. So clove for the skin, like Cassandra said, it is very much a hot oil. So what you really want to, anybody that has any sort of sensitive skin, I personally do, I always dilute my oils, not only to reduce the effects of like a skin sensitivity, but also when you dilute your oil with like a fractionated coconut oil or jojoba, avocado, any of those, any oil with fat, what it does is it actually holds it in your skin longer. So you get the benefits, you get more benefits from it. Now, I think it's funny that Cassandra said, oh, I have some clove in my water, because I was actually feeling a bit chilly and I didn't have time before this Zoom call to actually put a drop in my water. So I'm like, oh, you better believe when I'm off this, I'm going right for the clove. But I've got an awesome massage oil recipe for you that includes clove. Now, I don't know about you guys, but clove to me reminds me of fall. It reminds me of just, that spicy, like that crisp air, that sort of, you just need a little warmth, pick me up, but also it's a very, it's also very warming in terms of the emotion of it too. Like when I smell clove, I just feel like somebody's wrapped their arms around me and given me a big hug. I just love the smell of it. So here's the massage oil blend. So this is really good for, again, stimulating the muscles and really helping, get some circulation going in there. So it's 3 drops of clove and 2 drops of frankincense, and then some fractionated coconut oil, which is lovely. I mean, who doesn't love frankincense? One of my favorites. I refer to him as Elvis, the king, because frankincense is just like master of all, right?
I love it.
There's also, I'm not going to go through it, but there's a body bar lotion recipe that's going to be included that Cassandra will send out, or one of us will send out after this. It'll be in your little booklet. So I'm not going to go through that, but there's a beautiful body lotion bar that includes clove and cinnamon bark. So that's kind of a fun one. But here's a great one for those of you that like scrubs. I don't know about you, but this time of the year, my skin starts to get flaky and dry. And I'm, just dreading, like you're in socks and shoes all winter, no more cute little toes at the beach or anything like that. And unless you're tuning in from somewhere warm. And if that's the case, I'm very jealous. But this is a great sugar scrub that you can make at home. And that's the other beauty of these essential oils, is that, one bottle of oil has almost 300 drops in it. So for like pennies, you can make these beautiful recipes and just, save yourselves a ton of money. So this scrub has cassia, ginger, clove, some brown sugar, coconut oil, and then you can put in some vanilla extract if you want. Again, 3 drops of each oil, a cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of your coconut oil. So super easy. Throw it in a mason jar, keep it all mixed up, and then when you're in the shower, and throw it together and rub it all over your ankles and feet and, whatever. It'll be a nice warming little pick-me-up and just a great way to sort of exfoliate your skin for the season. It's awesome.
And a great Christmas gift or holiday gift or Thanksgiving gift or whatever you celebrate. It's great.
True. Yeah, very, very nice. I mean, who doesn't love like a homemade gift? And you can put your love into that, put it in a cute little mason jar, or if you're super creative with paper or sewing or whatever, make a cute little gift out of it. And it's very, very cheap. So. Mm-hmm. All right. Mouth support, one of the other things, I'm going to jump to that. Cassandra touched on that a bit. And clove has been used for a long time in support of mouth health. It does a great job at helping to clean the mouth. And it also does a great job of soothing like gum irritation or, if you have any painful things. I know true testimonial, one of our actually, our doTERRA sisters, if you will, had a tooth extracted. And it was obviously painful, but had taken clove with her to the dentist and asked them, they pack your gum with some gauze when they extract a tooth just to, reduce the bleeding, etc. And she asked them to put some clove on it. Now, obviously, she diluted it a bit. I don't know what oil she used, but she diluted it with some oil. But, it was probably still a little bit sensitive because clove will kind of I don't want to say burn, but it is hot. It's like a tingly kind of feeling if you put it in your mouth, straight up. Hence poor Cassandra and her lips there. But clove's very good at cleansing. And that's why it's in a lot of toothpaste and mouthwashes. But it's really good for toothaches. If you have a toothache, you could also do it like on the jawline, depending on where the tooth is aching. You could do it with, again, a carrier oil and rub it right on because it's going to go in there and really help. But one of the things, I don't know if any of you have gotten this yet, but it is amazing. It is the doTERRA mouthwash, and I forgot to grab it. But it does have clove in it. And one of our awesome lines, which is On Guard. I just have the beadlet sitting here. On Guard, our On Guard blend has clove in it, and it's just unbelievably amazing. The toothpaste and the mouthwash both have clove in it. Because they're made from the On Guard. But here's a minty mouthwash if you prefer. Yeah, the hand sanitizer. I mean, it just goes on. Here's a minty mouthwash recipe if you're rather a minty. I'm more one of those people that likes the cinnamon spicy, more like cinnamon, clove, ginger, not the minty. But here's a minty one for you. Again, these recipes are all in your booklet, so don't try to frantically write them down. I just want to go over them real quick. So this is about a cup of filtered water, 3 drops of clove, 1 of peppermint, 1 of frankincense, and a little Himalayan pink salt. So a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of water, and then you've got, what, 5 drops of oil. So there's a nice minty one for you to make up. You could gargle with it. You could put your toothbrush in it, swirl your toothbrush in there. You could, just whatever, swish it around your mouth in the morning before you leave, what have you. But there you go. There's some great tips for you to use clove in your oral health routine. So, Cassandra, do you want to talk a little bit about emotional support with clove?
Oh, yeah. So, emotional support, one of my favorite topics to talk about with essential oils is how do, the essential oils support us emotionally and energetically, and all of them do, and it's so interesting to find out like what each one does and how we can use that. So clove essential oil is actually known as the oil of boundaries. Yes, boundaries. So this is meaning, supporting us in setting boundaries with other people, but it also helps us to let go of being a victim, being codependent, any of that. So what chakra is this going to hit on? This is going to hit on our solar plexus, because if we think about our solar plexus, that's how we show up in the world, and if we're showing up where we feel defeated, where we feel victimized, where, we feel intimidated, where we're really not stepping into our power. This is our power system, right? And so clove is going to help support that. Because what happens is when you feel victimized, or if you struggle with codependency of any of that, then what happens is you are feeling overly influenced by other people. Other people, the environment, all of that. And so clove essential oil can help you break those patterns. It can also help you to stand up for yourself, to really believe in who you are and come forth in the world and show that. It also helps you, so boundaries. I know for myself, many times I've had not necessarily boundaries or codependency, but it was that never saying no, because I wanted people to like me. So I didn't say no. Well, clove essential oil can help you to recognize the importance of saying no for things that don't serve you and who you are. It's really a great oil for that empowerment. It also helps support those who have been damaged with trauma, with pain, or abuse. Now, I'm not going to say that just using this is going to take that away. I'm going to say if you have experienced any of those things, those are very severe. Any type of trauma, any type of pain, any type of abuse that, that you are also working with a mental health practitioner, whether that be, a psychiatrist, a psychotherapist, someone who, actually somebody who specializes in trauma, because not everyone who is a therapist actually knows how to support people who have experienced trauma. So I really encourage you, if you have that going on, that you do find someone who can do that. And then if you find someone who can do that, who's also familiar with essential oils, they can help. This helps to, it's just another tool in the toolbox to help support you. And how you would do that is, especially if you need to break those chains, it's just like putting essential oil, like some of that clove, but using fractionated essential oil and putting it, in your inner crease of your elbow, putting it, on the back of your neck, even putting it on your solar plexus, and then putting some in your hand and just inhaling it and saying, you know what? I set boundaries. I stand up for myself, saying those affirmations, because really when you inhale the essential oil, it helps to shift things in your brain. It really does. Research has showed that helps to shift, those old thinking patterns, those old neurons. So this is something that you have to do, on a regular basis. It can't be once and then you go, oh, that doesn't work. I don't know what she was talking about. I did it once. This is about taking care of you and having some type of ritual. The other thing that Clove can help is with people who have fear of rejection or loss of integrity. And like I said, you really can use it topically or aromatically, or like we're going to be sharing. You can do it with diffusing it or making some roller blends. And there's a lot of books out there of, like, if you need something that really helps you to stand in your power and to have those boundaries, you would just add a little bit of clove to whatever recipe or blend you have, and that's going to help. So I love it. It can really help you do that. So yes.
This is a great book, yeah, for just that.
Mm-hmm. And it really can. And this is, like I said, this is just another tool. So if you use this with somebody who you're seeing, like I said, if you've experienced like trauma or abuse and you're seeing a therapist who can support you through that, and then you also have the essential oil to support you through that, it's just going to be more beneficial and help you to break those patterns, those old patterns that are not serving you and helping you to be that amazing person that you are. So cleaning. So we're moving over to cleaning. So, oh my goodness, cleaning with clove. Now I'm going to tell you, I've never cleaned with the clove per se, making my own, but I have used On Guard cleaner, which I absolutely love. It actually, if you don't like cleaning, actually, when you open this, it makes you want to clean because it smells. Because like Cindy and I have been talking about all these On Guard products. Well, they do have a On Guard all-purpose cleaner. And I'm just telling you, every time I open that up, and I usually will clean my bathroom with it, oh my goodness, it smells so good. But I have not made my own thing. But let me tell you a little bit about it. So when we think about, like, moisture in the bathroom or the kitchen, moisture can cause mold to grow. And over time, it can become very difficult to keep these areas free of mold. You know how when you've walked into places and it smells kind of mildewy, kind of mold? Well, actually, clove is a safe and natural cleanser and a inexpensive way that you can kind of get rid of that, by either diffusing it in the air to get rid of that smell or making a clove cleaner kitchen and bathroom cleanser recipe. So you can make this. This is easy. I would just buy the the On Guard cleanser. That's what I would do. That's what I do.
But I have to say, Cassandra, I have used clove myself. I've made up my own before I had run out of On Guard. And I did do my own with clove, and it works amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
See, there you have it. See? Well, here's an easy one, and this will be in your ebook, but it is 15 drops of clove essential oil. So here's the clove, 15 drops of that, 5 drops of arbovitae, which is another, well, I like it. It's a very grounding oil. It's great for this time of year too. It is a tree oil. I actually love the smell. It's so good. 2 ounces of water, and then you just put all of that into a glass bottle, and you can actually use that to clean the surfaces in your bathroom, in your kitchen, on your countertop. And really, you know, when we're talking about health and wellness, which both Cindy and I are, you know, we're wellness advocates, and so we're all about the health and wellness, and doTERRA's all about that. Is you want to feel well, part of that is eliminating toxic cleaning products. They're not serving you at all. They are just making things worse. And you can start making your own products, and these are natural, inexpensive products that do clean, because a lot of people go, no, they don't clean, they don't, but they actually will clean your house, and you get rid of those toxic things that can affect your respiratory system, that can get on your skin and then they absorb into your skin, because your skin is your largest organ of your body. So you know what, that's one way you can start, is just by getting rid of old, you know, toxic cleaners and starting with natural cleaners or making your own cleaners.
Sorry, you guys. I had something that was like gonna fall over. That's why I keep moving out of the screen. I'm like, something's shifting, and I can't figure out from which direction. So I don't want it to like do a loud crash in the middle of this. So anyway, all right. So a pick me up with clove. Like I said earlier, when I smell clove, it just makes me feel like somebody has wrapped their arms around me and giving me this giant warm hug. It's just, to me, the spicy smells like cinnamon, clove, cassia, those are the ones that just really bring comfort to me. So in your moments of overwhelm, exhaustion, you're sluggish, you know, it's really easy right now in the Northeast. We've been going through this horrible spell of rain and chill, and it's awful. You know, I've had friends say to me, are we in Seattle? Like, I've never seen so much rain. And so it's dreary, and it's hard to really feel like uplifted and joyful when there's so much doom and gloom outside. And not to mention that when it's 40 degrees and it's pouring like that, it's such a bone seeping chill that you're cold, and you just want a warm blanket or a cat on your lap, or, you know, like, or some tea. So here's a blend that you can put in your diffuser. So clove, 3 drops of clove and 2 drops of invigorating blend. So you could add that to your diffuser. That would be a nice little pick-me-up. You could even, just like Cassandra said, take your bottle and, oh, look at that. Or maybe you put a drop in your hand and you just inhale. It's a great way to do it. Another great way is to put it on some lava stones, like for jewelry. A lot of people have jewelry. Of course, I don't have any of my jewelry.
There we go.
I usually have my necklace on or my jewelry, but not today. But that's a great way to kind of bring it with you. I love wearing my diffuser necklace or my diffuser bracelet, because it allows me to bring my essential oil with me all day long. And it's not like I don't have to worry about like putting it on in the middle of a meeting or something and having it on my hands, and now, you know, I'm making a mess or whatever. I can just subtly, you know, sniff my arm or grab my necklace or whatever. Again, some fractionated, a drop or 2 of clove on the back of the neck. That's a great place to sort of uplift you and really just make you feel like, again, bring you out of that little slump, if you will. Here's a great roller bottle recipe. I like to have those set aside too. Like, this is a great little pick-me-up. So it's 3 drops of clove, 3 drops of wild orange, and 3 drops of ginger. Now, that just sounds absolutely lovely to me. So that's a great one to sort of pick you up. And again, get you going and out of that little slump. You could keep it in a purse. You could keep it in your desk drawer. You could keep it in your pants pocket. You know, roller bottles are a really great way to travel with your essential oils without having to worry about getting them anywhere or even mixing them. You know, you've got 3 or 4 roller bottles of blends that you've made and they carry you through your day. It's perfect.
Oh my goodness. And I'm going to tell you, just like, so yeah, the cold, the wet, the change in the time, you know, you think, you know, it gets dark. And when it gets dark, my body's like, it's time to go to sleep. Well, it's getting dark at like 4:45 and I'm like, not even home yet. And when I got home, when I was driving home today, I was thinking, I am so tired. I am so tired. And we're about to come on this. Where am I going to get this energy from? And I actually, you know, from diffusing, and I'm going to share the diffuser recipe a little later that I am actually diffusing, but I'm telling you, it picked me up, you know, like I was like, oh, I feel awake. I feel good, you know, and it really did. And it has clove in it. It has ginger in it, but I also feel like that home and I feel comforted, you know, yet awakened, you know, but not too overly stimulated, but just enough to be able to come on here and I feel good and I feel comforted. So Clove is really good at that. And when we talk about comforted, we're going to talk about the, you know, Clove in the kitchen. And it is really good. So we're going to be talking about, like, you know, how can you, you know, add clove, because we think about cloves and we think about spices, and clove can help. You can do it to cook, you can do it to marinate, you can add it, you know, to so many things. Like you could add it to your pie, your pumpkin pie filling, or to your sweet potato pie filling. You could add a drop or 2 to your hot chocolate. Now, isn't that comforting? Yum. You can add it to your pumpkin cookies. You could add it to your ginger snap cookies. Yum. You could add it to your apple pie filling, or you can make a homemade granola, you know, and you could add like some ginger and some clove and some wild orange and make your own. So much better too when you make your own granola, you know, or your own trail mix. Yum. You can add it, which is my favorite, to a smoothie. You know, you could add it to that. Yeah. You can make, and I love doing this too, homemade elderberry syrup, but I will usually do a spiced elderberry syrup. And elderberry is really good to support your immune system, especially as we go in, well, especially going into the winter season. Oh my goodness. And if you add a couple drops of clove and a couple drops of cinnamon and ginger, yum. I mean, like, so good. Like, you feel so good. You feel like whatever was trying to brew inside of you, it's like, it's gone. It is gone. And then a great little recipe is that you can make a spiced cider. And I actually did this the other day. And I didn't do it all of this. I just actually took some cider, warmed up. It was just some cider that I got at the farmer's market. I just warmed that up and I added like a couple of drops of cinnamon and a drop of clove to it. I was in love. I was in love. There was that love, you know. But then here's a more, you know, intensive recipe that's still easy, is that you take 2 quarts of apple cider, 1 orange peeled and cut, 3 drops of lemon essential oil, 1 drop of cinnamon, and 1 drop of clove, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Oh yeah, and I also put lemon in mine too, and that was good. And then you combine all the ingredients in a saucepan and you simmer for at least 10 minutes. And then you remove the orange slices and serve in a mug. And then if you have some of those cinnamon sticks, you can just stick that in. Oh my, so good, especially on a day like today or the future days we're gonna have. They're really good. And this is good to have some friends over, you know, and you're watching a movie or you're talking and you're just drinking this and they're gonna be like, oh, this is so good. How'd you make this? But those are like different ways. There's so many ways that you can incorporate clove. Do you have any favorite ones, Cindy?
No, actually, I love the smell of it. Like, and I do put it in my like pumpkin cookies and things like that. I've not tried it in apple cider. It's funny because we just got some apple cider at the farmer's market and I haven't even gotten into it yet. I've been sort of waiting. So I'm probably going to go do a mug of that when I get off this call, because now I feel it's like calling to me. I can hear it from the refrigerator, like, come get me, put some clove in me. So I can't wait to try it. It sounds delicious.
Oh my goodness. It is so, like, I could have just kept, like, made the whole thing and just, I could drink the whole thing. It tastes so good. It feels so good. And I feel so comforted.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it really does. Yeah. So another great aspect of clove taken internally is its immune boosting benefits. I'm a little tongue tied all of a sudden. But we've talked about it as a really great cleanser. But in terms of your body, it's really good for your immune system as well. It is really good. We've talked about cardiovascular system a little bit, but also circulatory system when we talked about like it's really good for increasing circulation and it's warming. So here's a great recipe again. A great roller bottle recipe. I don't know about you guys, but I work in a public school and there is a lot of junk floating around right now. If I don't walk through the hall and hear at least one person hacking up, whatever, then I'm like, oh gosh, I guess I'm not at work today. True story is in line yesterday to vote and waiting there for an hour, which is okay. It's fine. Record numbers, I get it, whatever. Everyone's there. And this woman, 3 people back from me, is just hacking away. And the woman next to me is like, holy cow. And I'm like, yep. So I'm taking out my On Guard hand sanitizer and I'm like, okay, but when I came home, I did some internal support and I do have my own immune support blend handy for just those occasions. So this one is looking for some clove. So you put 7 drops of clove, 5 of lemon, 5 of rosemary, 5 of eucalyptus. And let me just tell you a little bit about those, and I don't want to spend a lot of time, but lemon, again, for those of you that watched us last month, lemon's a very powerful cleanser. Don't knock the lemon. People think like, oh, it's just lemon. Lemon is amazing. It's also really good at getting rid of the congestion, like the phlegm and that sort of congestion. It helps to really clear that. And rosemary and eucalyptus are really great for respiratory support. So that is a powerhouse blend right there, my friends. Keep it in your roller bottle, rub it on your chest, do your sinuses, even under your nose if you want, but that's a great one to keep on hand. And it's really, again, super easy to make, super cheap to keep on hand, because I'll tell you what, one little roller bottle like this is going to last you quite some time. It's going to last you at least a season. So it's cheap, and you're not going to the pharmacy and buying over the counter or whatever to, 5 different products to address whatever you've got going on. So that's a great one for a roller bottle. You could do this one in a roller bottle too. There's another one I have. It's rosemary, 1 drop of rosemary, couple drops of clove, eucalyptus, cinnamon, wild orange. I like to cut that one down and actually throw it in a diffuser. So I would use like 1 or 2 drops of each. I'd probably do a couple drops of clove just because I want it to stand out a little more, and maybe a couple more drops of orange. But that one's a powerhouse too, because again, you've got your clove and your cinnamon, which are really powerful cleansers, your orange, which is a citrus, so that's a great cleanser too, and then you've got your rosemary and eucalyptus to support your cardiovascular. Those are great. So those, again, will be in your little booklet that we send to you, but those are great ones to just chuck in the diffuser. Like, it's so easy. You come home from work, you fill up your diffuser, you put like 8 to 10 drops of oils in there, snap the puppy on, and go about your day. I don't know about you, but when I get home from work, it's like a routine, and I have all this stuff to do. But why not throw some stuff in the diffuser while I'm doing it? Now I'm inhaling and I'm getting the benefits of all those oils. It's amazing.
Oh, yes. It is so amazing. And I'm telling you, it's easy. I did that. But like I said, when I came home today, and speaking of that, we're going to talk about the aroma of clove. You know, we talked about it. Like it's very warm. It's very woodsy, spicy. You know, it has a little slight of a leather, but it also has a little sweetness to me to it. You know, it has a little sweetness. And so, you know, it's really good for diffusing. It's really good for room sprays. It's good for like your own homemade potpourri. You could even, you know, do like, you know, that whole cider thing. You could also just do it and keep that on the stove, you know, where you actually don't put the cider because you want to, but you could do water and you could add some clove and you can add some ginger and that and just have it, you know, simmering on the stove. And oh, it smells so great.
That's actually what I was thinking of when you were talking about the apple cider, just the cinnamon sticks. I remember as a kid, like my grandmother used to do them sometimes, and it's just a really nice smell.
Oh, it is. It is. So what I came home and diffused today was the Autumn Aroma Diffuser Blend, which you will get in your book, and it is actually 3 drops of wild orange. So if we think about wild orange emotionally is like your happy oil. It like, think about it, it's orange. It just is like, you smell it and it just opens you up. It helps, it's like joy, and it brings out your happiness and the inner child and all that stuff. And it's part of the sacral chakra, which is about, you know, femininity and flow and fun and joy. And so that's wild orange. So you put 3 drops of wild orange in it, then 1 drop of ginger. So ginger is also that, you know, that oil that is very warming. It also helps with your solar plexus. It's going to help to empower you, help you to stand in your, in being you, into your power system. So 1 drop of ginger, 2 drops of clove, and we talked about what clove does, and then 1 drop of frankincense, which Cindy mentioned about frankincense, and I love frankincense, and that's really good at grounding you. You know, it is, but it's grounding, but it also helps to open up your intuition, you know, so you're grounded, but you're also open. And I mean, I love the smell of frankincense, and I just love it with anything. And so I am diffusing that blend right now. And a little secret, I don't know why, I always have tons of wild orange, like tons of it. I cannot find my wild orange. I don't know where. I think I'm out of it. I think well, it's at my offices or something. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. I don't have any wild orange. What the heck? I mean, like, I'm always giving away wild orange. That's probably what it is. So I said, actually mine has 3 drops of tangerine in it. Nice. Which has very similar benefits to it. It's just a slightly different smell, but very different. So that's my little secret, that it's not wild orange. I'm actually using tangerine. You can also, so if you want a sweeter, like ginger snap type of diffuser blend, you can do 2 drops of ginger, 1 drop of cassia, and 1 drop of clove. And you're going to get more. It's going to be really like that ginger snap blend. Or you can actually take those same blends and make a room spray. And what you can add into that is getting like a 4-ounce bottle and adding in water or witch hazel, distilled water, and then you can make like a room spray with those. Actually, I would probably do more of a 2-ounce. If you do a 4-ounce, I would actually double all of the amounts of oil. And you could also do a better than potpourri spray recipe, and that would be 10 drops of clove, 10 drops of wild orange, and 3 drops of cinnamon bark. Oh my goodness. And just put that in a 4-ounce glass bottle. Smells so good. Smells so good. So if you got a little child who's had a little bit of a diaper thing going on, spray that. Or, you know, in your office, because these also are going to help. These are very high in antioxidants. So it's also help cleansing the air and protecting you from everybody else's achoo, all of that. That's going to be protected.
It's so true. Okay. So I have to tell you, I hate these critters. I totally hate them. So we talk about how clove has really been such a great protector. I love that Cassandra just sort of segued into this. Is great, but it is such a great protector for us from all of the crap that's flying through the air, right? But it also helps us because let's face it, it's getting cold outside and we get some stowaways sometimes, things that we don't necessarily like, okay? And these essential oils are amazing. There are lots of them that really help to get rid of those unwanted critters. So there are lots of little nasty things like, for example, bed bugs. Nobody wants to think about bed bugs. That's just disgusting, right? But clove is a very strong smelling oil, no matter how you slice it. It's very strong. It's also a hot oil. So a lot of these critters hate this kind of thing. Snakes are another one. I didn't know that until I was researching for this class. I hate snakes. I am terrified of snakes. It doesn't matter if they're a little garter snake or if they're like a giant anaconda. I am terrified. I hate them. Luckily, knock on wood, I've never had an issue inside my house because I think I would lose it. I would just, I don't know what I would do. I would probably pack up and leave. I don't know. But I'm the one, whenever we go on hikes, I'm always the one that startles the itty bitty little garter snake that's, barely 2 inches around that slithers in front of me. But you better believe I'm going to start carrying clove with me on my hikes because I don't want those critters anywhere near me. But true. Clove is a really good one at repelling snakes. Also some other ones. So if you were going to use it to repel your snake or to repel snakes, take an 8-ounce spray bottle, put 30 drops of clove in there. And just in that 8 ounce, you're just filling it with water and you put your 30 drops of clove in there and just give it a shake. You can use that to spray all over soft surfaces. That's a really great one to get rid of like bed bugs, like I said, things like that. But think of all the bugs that like to be in like soft, squishy things. Like I'm thinking of like upholstery. I'm thinking of like stuffed animals. I'm thinking of like, I don't know, not so much clothing because we take it off and wash it, but like
blankets or something.
Things that are fabric. It just, it's just gross. But clove is really good for that. Some of the others that are really good, think of your cleansing ones like Melaleuca, which is, most people know by tea tree. That's a great one in repelling. Think of
Peppermint.
Peppermint's a great one. Eucalyptus is a really strong one that it's great for respiratory for us, but it's a nice strong one that repels a lot. Also, a lot of your woods, like cedar wood, arbor vitae, think of your trees, because your trees, remember, these essential oils are the lifeblood of the plant. So if it's a cedar wood oil, it's the lifeblood of the cedar wood. Cedar, it has certain properties that repel lots of different insects and animals and et cetera. And so all those constituents are in that oil. So therefore it's going to work to repel. I often, will put stuff on a little cotton ball. I would suspect that if you put some clove on some cotton balls and put those around the outside of your house, or maybe in places where you've seen or you're afraid of like these slithery, gross creatures coming in, you could also repel them that way too, and you wouldn't be walking around doing your spray. I've done that before with peppermint for some like ants and mice and things like that, and it's worked wonders. It's amazing. So again, clove, cinnamon bark, some of those, great for snakes. Blah.
I'll turn that picture. Yeah, so as you can see, clove, there's many things. Hopefully you found a newfound love with clove, and learned a lot about the wonderful usages, benefits, and even got some recipes. And like we said, for everyone who signs up for this, they will be getting a little ebook that tells you about essential oils in general, how you can use it, essential oils. It'll even have, like the points on your foot, like reflexology points where you can use essential oils, different things like that. But then there's a whole section on the benefits of clove essential oils and the recipes that we shared, and some other recipes. So what we want to say is this is our product of the month series. We started this in October, and basically what does this mean is that you can win some prizes. So we were going to give away a bottle of lemon essential oil for whoever showed up live, but no one showed up live. So guess what? No one gets that, but that's okay. Maybe next time, and we'll have a different essential oil. But part of the product of the month club is that for October, November, and December, everyone who signs up for this, they get entered into a drawing. If you also join our Facebook group, you will be entered into a drawing. If you also share and share and share, actually your name will be entered twice. We like to share. We're sharers, and we like to reward people for sharing. So if you share with others, and they end up either registering, because people can still listen to this afterwards. So if you're listening to this and you want to share it with someone, then just have them register, and they'll get this replay, and we will also send them the ebook, and then your name will be entered into the drawing twice. And I think those are the 4 ways. Listen, you sign up, you listen live, or you listen to the recording, you share, you join the Facebook group, and then you can get different entries. So at the end, we'll put everyone's name in. So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 entries in right now. And then we'll see for this month and next month. And then we'll draw 2 names, and Cindy will be giving away an AROMA touch kit, and I will be giving away an emotional touch kit. So you will be able to win one of those. So we're very excited about that. And so we want you, the more you play, the more you win, and if you are listening to this and you're like, well, all that's great, but I want some clove essential oil, like you guys, you're like jealous because you're like, I'm listening to this and I want some apple cider and I want to put some clove in it and I want to have doTERRA so I can put, have it internally. Well, guess what? You can just, email one of us, find us on social media if you've got this from one of us, and you can talk to one of us, and we can see how you can get some clove, as well as, because clove is just one of the tools in your toolbox to help you on your wellness journey. We would like to support you on seeing what other tools you need for your wellness journey this autumn and going into the winter season. So we want to tell you how you can do that, the most effective way to do that, the most inexpensive way to do that, also how you can do that and get free products each month, because really this is doTERRA's product of the month. And what does that mean is when you set up an LRP, loyalty rewards program, and you order 125 product volume, and these are points, then you get a free bottle if you do it before the 15th of the clove essential oil. And you're getting points every time you order. I mean, I have so many points. I have like 300 points, and I love it. Those are free. That's like $300 that I can use and get free stuff. So yeah, so please let us know. Other things, with that, Cindy, that I missed?
No, just if you are sharing it, or I should say when you share it, either email one of us or tag us in the Facebook feed so that we know it's you that's sharing. So we know who these people are coming from, or where these people are coming from, rather.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you could share this, share it. You can share it on Facebook and just tag one of us and everything, and that will count. And you can share it more than once and get more entries. The more you enter, the more you're going to be able. It's kind of like the lottery, but the more you play, the more chances you have to win.
Our ultimate goal is to educate people. Like, we love these oils, but we want other people to enjoy and see how helpful these oils can be in supporting their health and well-being. That's the main goal for this. We love these oils. So
Yes.
we love to educate people about them. So that's what we want. We want to help you to feel better, be the best you that you can be. And use these oils to help support you in doing that.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I want you to feel like I'm feeling right now as I had that diffusing and it picked me up. And as I just smell this and I just feel so like, and I want you to be at home feeling that same way, you know? And so, yeah, like Cindy says, we really want you to have the support that you need to be the amazing you. And we know that the essential oil world, there's a lot of essential oils and it can become very overwhelming. Like you go to the site and you're like, I don't know, which oil do I need and everything. And that's what we're here for. We're here to help you on that journey. So you can kind of share with us what your wellness goals are and we can help you, determine which oils will best support you. So, well, if you have any questions at all, find us, you'll get this. So the people who are listening to the replay, just respond to the email or in the Facebook group or wherever, or, find us on Facebook and send us a private message and we'll be here to support you. And then we'll be back next December to, we don't know, but I'm just going to share that usually, but I don't know, because usually in October, it's usually on guard and they pick Clove this. So.
Right. I know. I was shocked too. I was like, wait a minute.
Yes. That's usually their product of the month. So I don't even know, but a lot of times in December, well, that's actually, is it? No, it's not usually the product of the month, is it? It's usually
promo.
It's usually a promo. Never mind. I was going to tell you, but you should join this time so that you can get the promo. Is getting a free bottle of frankincense oil. Frankincense, the king. We love. Yeah. Yep. So you will want to join because we'll tell you all about that.
Exactly.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you. And until next time, take care.
Take care, everyone.